With no small measure of George H.W. Bush's effort, we reunited Germany. This is the type of leadership that President Trump is boldly reasserting. After the Cold War ended, we allowed this liberal order to begin to corrode. It failed us in some places, and sometimes it failed you and the rest of the world. We have to account for the world order of today in order to chart the way forward. It is what America's national security strategy deemed principled realism. I like to think of it as common sense. Every nation must honestly acknowledge its responsibility to its citizens and ask if the current international order serves the good of its people as well as it could. And if not, we must ask how we can right it. This is what President Trump is doing. He is returning the United States to its traditional, central leadership role in the world. He sees the world as it is, not as we wish it to be. He knows that nothing can replace the nation-state as the guarantor of democratic freedoms and national interests. He knows, as George H.W. Bush knew, that a safer world has consistently demanded American courage on the world stage. And when we, all of us, ignore our responsibilities to the institutions we formed, others will abuse them. Critics in places like Iran and China, who really are undermining the international order, are saying that the Trump administration is the reason that the system is breaking down. They claim America is acting unilaterally instead of multilaterally, as if every kind of multilateral action is by definition desirable. Even our European friends sometimes say we're not acting in the world's interest. This is just plain wrong. Our mission is to reassert our sovereignty, reform the liberal international order, and we want our friends to help us and to exert their sovereignty as well. We aspire to make the international order serve our citizens, not to control them. America intends to lead now and always. Under President Trump, we are not abandoning international leadership or our friends in the international system. Indeed, quite the contrary. The first 2 years of the Trump administration demonstrate that President Trump is not undermining these institutions, nor is he abandoning American leadership. Quite the opposite. In the finest traditions of our great democracy, we are rallying the noble nations of the world to build a new liberal order that prevents war and achieves greater prosperity for all. We're supporting institutions that we believe can be improved. Institutions that work in American interests and yours, in service of our shared values. Let's work together. Let's work together to preserve the free world so that it continue to serve the interests of the people to whom we each are accountable. Let's do so in a way that creates international organizations that are agile, that respect national sovereignty, that deliver on their stated missions, and that create value for the liberal order and for the world. President Trump understands deeply that when America leads, peace and prosperity almost certainly follow. He knows that if America and our allies here in Europe don't lead, others will choose to do so. America will, as it has always done, continue to work with our allies around the world towards the peaceful liberal order each citizen of the world deserves. Thank you for joining me here today. May the good Lord bless each and every one of you. Thank you.